And Alice, at Black Family Development, and you were a member of the Detroit Works team. It seems to me that one of the genius parts of this plan is that it did include groups like yours, neighborhood groups, and ordinary citizens in the way that it was put together.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say of my experience being involved in lots of initiatives going back to the 70s and calling this the Renaissance City, I have not seen anything that has been as broad, deep, and comprehensive that really focused on civic and community engagement. There was a real push from day one that this is not going to work unless we have the engagement of every citizen who is interested in this city.
Right.
And that was a continuous push. And we kept moving until we got it right. And so the number of residents who came out to small meetings and large meetings and gave their voice and input was simply phenomenal.
Right, right. And so what's your sense of what their reaction would be to this plan? I mean, that's always the fear in Detroit, is that you come out with a plan like this and the first instinct for a lot of people is to say, this is something that outsiders are trying to do to us, not something that we're supposed to do for ourselves.
But I think Detroiters are going to see their footprint in this plan, this framework, because they helped design it. And when you read it, the language is so respectful of the input of the average, ordinary person.
Right.
And so for those who came to the table, they were serious about being heard, and they were heard.
Right.
And so as you read the plan, you're going to see Detroiters in this plan. You're going to see a mixture of our planning experts working with local residents about what we wanted to see in this city. You cannot do a plan that's successful without Detroiters blessing it. And so their input is going to be seen, I believe, in these pages.
Right. Alice, I think when I think about the city and I think about neighborhoods, I tend to think about the neighborhoods that we don't talk about. When we talk about neighborhoods in the city, we tend to talk about the neighborhoods that are stable, places like Palmer Woods and Indian Village, or places that are really, really distressed, where you have one or two houses on a block. But it seems to me that most of the city is somewhere in between those two, and citizens there are really feeling the decline. I mean, that's where the critical sort of decline is taking place. What's your sense of what this plan means to those people?
Well, those individuals were involved in the process. We specifically reached out to those particular neighborhoods, and what we found was phenomenal hope and optimism about their city, and tremendous love for their neighborhood in spite of the decline. And so what you have is small groups like block clubs in some neighborhoods, neighborhood associations who came to the table. And they have plans on the table for their particular community right now. What this will do for them is help them bring that to scale. We can really begin to take our investments and be very strategic about helping those neighborhoods. But neighborhood residents, and I'm going to say block club leaders, were very much engaged in the process. And so again, this plan does not start from new. We're building upon what people are already trying to do and can bring it to scale.
Right.
So the residents see really hope for their neighborhoods. And I'll give a really small story about my block.
Sure. Where do you live?
In West Detroit.
Okay, okay.
And on my block 2 years ago, I looked around and there were 5 vacant houses, either through foreclosure or some other kind of reason.
Just on your block?
On my block alone, right? And it was a wonderful, beautiful, robust Northwest block, right? But do you know, over this period of time, I have seen people come back into those homes. The last home that was still vacant, I saw a porch light go on Monday night, and right? I was so happy, right? And so there is people who are saying this city is worth staying in, it's worth investing in, and so there is an air of hope and optimism, however small it may be right now, but it's important for this work going forward.
Right, right. Alice, jobs for Detroiters, that's just gotta be music to your ears and all the people in your organization.
And it has been to many of the residents too, but there is a growing, really expanding entrepreneur sector in this city.
Sure, yeah.
And so you have in neighborhoods where neighborhood residents are learning how to be their own entrepreneurs and create money within their own neighborhoods flowing by helping each other. That's increasing in our city, right. And that's a really important piece. And I do want to say this about the quote about our size. We looked around the country at various cities, and so for our land size and our land mass and our population, it's like Atlanta. Atlanta's flourishing, right?
Yeah.
But how we think about our city and how we perceive is very important. That language is helping to reshape our thinking about our city.
Right.
Declining population is not a doom for a city.
Right.
It's
right.
how you then begin to use the land that you have based upon their population. So the notion about aligning our assets, with opportunity and innovation are key things for us right now. This city's size is fine. We need a bigger, robust
economy. You got to make better use of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And Atlanta